Welcome to the Everything Podcast, and in this episode, I'm going to be discussing the announcement of Short Trips, Impeccable, and other stories. I'm recording this episode on the 30th of November 2025. This announcement was made on the 26th of November 2025, so only a couple of days ago. Similar sort of time frame to when I talked about the release time for the Neighbours 2025 finale, which is either already released if you're listening to this on audio platform, and for YouTube either it has released or is being released soon. So yeah, if it's not come out, you know, Ben, what you're talking about. That's why. Without further ado, let's get on with the press release, which is titled "Impeccable New Short Trips." As I said, it was announced on the 26th of November 2025. There are 6 brand new adventures across the Doctor Who universe in Short Trips, Impeccable and Other Stories, an audiobook anthology coming February 2026. The popular Doctor Who audio range, Short Trips, is set to return with a new volume of 6 exciting short stories featuring characters from across the eras of the Whoniverse. Short Trips, Impeccable and Other Stories begins with the title tale, which follows the TV movie incarnation of the Master and is read by the Doctor's arch-enemy himself, Eric Roberts. Then there are a further 5 stories featuring the 5th, 9th and 12th Doctors, as well as Zoe, Nyssa, Dorian Maldavar and other familiar allies and enemies. All the stories are narrated by voice actors familiar to Big Finish listeners, including Sarah Sutton in a story with Nicholas Briggs providing the voice of the Cybermen, Lisa Bowerman, Bronte Barb, who appeared in TV episode Lux, Duncan Wisby, and Peter Forbes. So we've got the writers and which doctors or companions it's with, the readers and synopsis for each. So we're going to start off with Impeccable, which has been written by Georgia Cook, which is a story in the Master Universe, read by Eric Roberts. Here's the synopsis. Mark loves every little moment of his perfect suburban life, his beautiful home, his friendly neighbours and their children, his wonderful wife, whatever her name is. But today there's a nagging feeling in his mind, a nagging headache building at the back of his skull, and worst of all, a nagging voice that has very different ideas about Mark's cosy world. We then have Hard Feelings by Philip Lawrence, which is a 5th Doctor and Nyssa story read by Sarah Sutton with Nicholas Briggs. And here's the synopsis. Nyssa is trapped in a collapsing building during a cyber invasion. Terrified, unarmed, and hunted by a lone Cyberman, as the creature closes in, Nyssa's fear becomes something different. What drives her growing anger, and will she really seek a cruel revenge on her pursuer? We then have Cut Out by Dominic Pollan, which is an adventure from the worlds of Doctor Who, read by Duncan Wisby. So we don't know who exactly this one's for, which is interesting. Here's the synopsis. A shadowy island, a secret weapon, and off the books case, MI6 officer Dominic Pollan has run impossible operations before, though never with the Doctor as his undercover asset. So there is a Doctor. Just which one, that's going to be interesting. Next up, we have Bring Me the Head of Dorian Maldavar, written by Nick Swartzis, which is a 12th Doctor story read by Peter Forbes, which has the following synopsis. A long-forgotten dodgy deal by Dorian Maldavar comes back to haunt him, and a ruthless gangster has put a bounty on his head. With nobody and nobody to help him, he calls in a favour from the Doctor. Like Dorian himself, the Doctor is not the man he once was. And I think this is number 5, 6, I can't remember. The Tip of the Mind, written by Peter Angerheldes, is a conversation with Dr. Sandra Ultiman, performed by Lisa Bowerman. Here's the synopsis. I would have you know that I set high expectations for my researchers. If only I could get my team member Zoe Herriot to focus on her work, everything will work out fine. And the final story in this box set is titled It's not called that. It's called Is Anybody There? Written by Benjamin Mackenzie, which is a 9th Doctor adventure read by Bronte Barb. Here's the synopsis. A disturbing, unseen figure calls out to Kina from the shadows that surely can't be her bullying father. He died long ago and far from the space station. The Doctor arrives to help her, or is he just the creature's latest cruel manifestation? Doctor Who Short Trips range producer Peter Angerheldes said, our latest collection includes writers new and old with a debut script for a recent competition entrant, and stories from experienced screenwriters in the world of Doctor Who and beyond. There are doctors and companions from across the many years of the TV series, plus other familiar faces and one familiar head making an appearance. And that is the synopsis. I did mention it briefly. It's coming February 2026. As I've mentioned in previous Big Finish episodes, Big Finish don't announce the specific date until the start of the month. So tomorrow, from when I'm recording this, that'll be the 1st of December. I should have the release dates for December 2025. So obviously I'll be talking about that in a future episode. But without further ado, let me know what you thought of the announcement of Short Trips, Impeccable and other stories, as well if you're planning to listen to it when it was released in February 2026. Let me know your thoughts on both of those in the comments below. Remember, you can also like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in a future episode of the podcast. See you then. Goodbye.